Hello everyone. How's everyone doing? I again had trouble sleeping. Got a lot on my mind at the moment. So, being awake for several hours, I decided just to stream. Hey TQ, how are you doing? I didn't expect anyone to be around. So I should do my morning routine now. I've figured out something.
Something wrong.
You can trigger the bonus early
Must be something
if you give
wrong.
them the favorite gifts, all 3 favorite gifts for the day. Do now. It's 8:30 p.m. here. Just finished dinner. Nice. What'd you have? So what I'm going to do from now on is start of the stream. I'm going to feed whatever guy I'm using the favorite gifts. Find them. Nothing special, just sausages and rice. Still sounds good. You can make the most blandest thing, or something that sounds bland, very delicious. Like I make a killer spaghetti bolognese. May sound pretty bland, but I like to think I make a pretty good one. I'll find the. Yes, here. Don't have it. They will.
I'd like to help, if I can.
Grab it and go. Crap, but not use the one I just gave it. I just gave myself. crazy.
What's on your mind?
Alright, cool. Now he's max. So our morning routine, we should get bonus.
Must be something wrong.
The 16's right. Yeah. Alright. Explosive. Don't know what we're going to do today because we're logged in early. I'm going to finish off our normal routine pretty quickly. So, not sure what we'll do. Oh, it's a Friday, so it should be a lazy Friday. If you got any interesting Dreamlight Valley videos, TQ, let me know and we can watch it together if you want. Something different. Come on, dog. Doesn't matter where of the critter feeding at. Yeah, I heard about that. I've never really needed it, to be honest. Because I unlock things pretty quickly. It's mainly, like, best for if you're trying to, like, maybe get all the memories for critters. Or just trying to tick off all the critters itself. Come on, Eeyore. Eeyore's so buggy. I don't know why I keep using. He's great as a character. Terrible as like a Dreamlight Valley character. Come on. There we go. Cool. I've done my feed timer about 80% and gets my vote and gets some tweaking though. Yeah, it's never perfect. I can't say I've had too much of an issue with it, and I kind of like the challenge sometimes. So I've been alright with it. I'm actually going on a plane today as well. So I have to fly up to Auckland for some medical tests. So there's not going to be a stream on Monday, unfortunately. Because every time you feed a critter, it has less. That must be complete. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, what the fuck? No Dinkum stream on Monday. Well, I don't do Dinkum on Monday, so there's always no Dinkum stream on Monday. Your Mondays, yeah. Well, your Mondays will still have the Dinkum stream. Your Sunday won't have the Dreamlight Valley stream. That's okay. I don't know why you like Dinkum so much. I mean, you know, it's kind of boring. It's the same thing over and over again. I think it's because you like to have the ability of just jumping in and ringing the goddamn bell. You like the ability to have the option to be a terrorist in my game, basically. Dinkum is fun, I just wish it had more content. Because I definitely am hitting the roof with it. It can get a little bit tedious. No one replied to my summer sizzle post. What? What summer sizzle post? You mean on the Discord? Ah. Yeah, well, I mean, we talked about it yesterday on Wednesday. So all the mushroom, all the marshmallows. We talked about it on the stream and everything. Okay, let's go and I'll show you. I actually haven't collected the mushrooms. Not mushrooms. Marshmallows. Marshmallows. It's probably, yeah, that's probably why, but no one really like talks a lot. But I want people to talk more on it. I try. See? All these marshmallows. You're out super early. Yeah, I've got a lot on my mind and pretty stressed out and I couldn't sleep. So I just ended up just waking up. Just really, I've been up for like an hour or two now. Decided to stream because I was bored. The problem with me, I have trouble sleeping as it is, but once my brain switches on, I just can't do anything else. Very annoying. Alright, let's dump everything. Where is back a lot of things there. Come out and swap. Out of it now. Cherries. Please stack it. only ones I really need. Alright, I'll look at it. Actually, don't. Oh my god, what's happened here? Apparently my character's now on steroids. I'm not even doing that, I'm just moving forward. Alright, hopefully there's something. Oh no, my character's bugged this way. Alright, gonna stick with it. This is gonna be our stream today. He's got super speed. Alright, let's go front credit. I don't want to okay. Raymond's got 2 quests. If I want to talk to Remy. is Remy? Alright, sorry, I'm just. It's...
Did I talk to you? Oh. Thanks.
I've got my roasted marshmallow. I know. Thing.
Hey, it's you! Yeah. Over here!
A dog recipe, right? Ooh, quiz. Quiz.
Hello, dear. Uh-huh. Someone's on the roll. Ah. Wait a minute. What? That doesn't count? I'm gonna maybe do it the hard way. That didn't count either. God damn it. Oh, that's not. Alright, maybe I don't manually without the machine.
Ugh. I think that. Oh. Alright. Oh, we've got 2 skunks to do. Bed and run away. Yep. Yay. Easy. I can do the sweet pea later. Yeah, sweet peas. Alright. Slowly taking those off. The geese have only got 31 to go. If you're half there, if you do like 2 or 3 a day, 15 days right now. I can actually take off the geese. But the other ones are gonna take a little while. That's the good thing about this game sometimes. Something to do. If you really want to. It's a question of whether you want to. Alright, what should we do? Could do those. do that machine. I like grind out. Sorry, get vacuum. Save me time. Mist run. Machines in every area, so. Switch over to time beating, and then we want to get a time beating buddy and beat them up. Put them on max so we get the boost. Pretty sure Ralph is a time beating buddy. Oh, I'm super speed at the moment. Well, look at that. Alright, cool. I'll go with the route. Feed them up. Alright, what do you need, buddy? Crab salad, spicy scorpion skewer. Okay. Who needs a horse? Alright. Beat this guy out. I'm going too fast for him, you can't catch up. Cool, that boosts them up to max. I'm grinding. So, I want to build about 3 of them. So, I need about 75,000. Which you'd think would be quite hard, but with this bonus, it actually should be a lot easier. Well, a lot easier than it has been in the past. Oh no, I lost the bonus. Oh. Fuck. Speed boost. Now everything feels so slow. Damn it. Teleport to 300. There is actually a new element thing in the shop. And I have to rebuild. Right. That's not 75, I need 45. Come on. Yeah.
Has been created.
Get rid of that. Ralph is not a great party. So. Buggy. And jeez. Gonna go a long way, apparently. Coming back now. You can't decide how to do this. There we go. He's trying. I have to watch out for wind roll.
Time to start another day.
I into the monkeys. We're nearly there. Something is grand. Doubted it initially, but now I've actually seen how it works. It's worth it. Hi, Elizabeth. How you doing? Yeah, about 5,000. I'm good, but my Dreamlight Valley glitch out wasn't letting mine rock. I tried closing the game, I don't know what to do. Yeah, I had a glitch earlier. It's been a little bit buggy this morning for me, so pretty bad. Whatever they did really have broken the game a bit. I mean, they didn't even introduce any like huge features. I mean, they did introduce the friendship stuff, but yeah, it's been pretty bad in terms of the glitches. Normally exiting out and getting back into it typically fixes it 99%. Just that 1% time sucks. He's nearly out of his bonus too. But man, sure. Get me where I need to be. Perfect. Yeah. Right, what's up? I had a small update about an hour ago. Wife's reporting issues too. Oh, I've been playing for an hour or an hour and 15 minutes, and I didn't get an update when I opened it, so I could be running without it. Without the update. It sucks because that means they'll be taking resources away from like working on the next thing, just to fix all the stuff that they broke. Alright, so we've got a machine there. Need a machine down here. Oh, I need to do it time. Have time getting machine. In table. Just started, but still not working. Seems they've broken everyone. Silly game lock. Breaking their own game. I find it always funny when people go on like Reddit and go, "Why is Disney not fixing this?" Blah blah blah. It's like, it's not Disney. Disney just licensed the game to Gameloft, and Gameloft makes the game. But I don't know. It always makes me laugh because they just assume that Disney has all their resources behind them to fix this kind of thing when it's not even them. That's what you want. Gameloft and Disney are completely. Now, from my understanding, the only input Disney have is just approval of what they do with the characters and like quest lines and stuff. That's about it. And normally they just send it through to them and they get approval. I'm gonna do some star path, but not working. Need to mine for rock. Yeah, the mining one is the shine, like looking for the shining gems. Dream task, that one's a hard one. Managed to get there on when we did the stream, or did my 12-hour stream, but it wasn't exactly easy. I don't even know if his bonuses. I want to do some. Let's see. All right. I need blue gens not working. Maybe later to fix. I think they made a big boo-boo with it. I'm lucky that most of my bugs haven't been game-breaking. So far, anyway. Knock on wood. I think this is what it was faked with. Don't need any ancient magnets. What? Alright, let's check that. I believe I'm out of magnets. I probably got some on the table, so I can pick those up. That isn't magnets. I think you do some quests because I'm not working. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just can't. You just have to adapt to it, sadly. But it ain't Dreamlight Valley without bugs. Kind of comes with the game. Pretty sure they think it's a feature, but I don't think it's a feature. Fine.
The valley is so pretty.
Got it anyway. Yeah, I don't got a table for it. Probably because I don't do a lot of. I'll check here. Get some more rocks so you can make chests. Well, I would suggest coming over to mine and grabbing some. But the game's rather buggy at the moment, so I don't. Lollipop. A stack of 99 lollipops. Goes. Alright. Go back to Belvedere. Oh, I could really do with a coffee right now. But the coffee's all the way over the kitchen. Ugh. And I'm lazy. Alright, so now we should be up. Here we go. Stop me from needing to constantly move these damn machines around. Silver summer. Maybe I don't have it there. Don't have it. Oh no, I do. There we go. That's done. Alright, well that will make my dill grind. No. Get a buddy around me. Oh, he's still with forging, buddy.
I really like how everyone helps each other out here.
Oh, let's just hit some bugs. Bitch. Look like I can teleport characters. Why am I doing it? Wait. I'm an idiot. Keep forgetting I can do that now. Hmm. So let's go. Washball. Two. Pretty trusting. Farming. None of that, huh? Dreamlight duty. Welcome back to the riveting adventures of Dave Farm Stuff. Today's episode, this is all we're going to be really doing. He still needs 1,200 more. Now, considering he gets 2 every single time, well, that should... Oh. He gets 2 every single time. Which means it will take 500 of these damn plants. Well, a little bit more. 500 and... It's probably 600. 600 more of these plants. So this is all we're going to be doing. I would play the music that I'm listening to, but just copyright. It will get copyright striked, and no one needs that. Alright, officially past the... Oh, officially within the 1,000 mark. But we're getting there. Now there's another way you could do this. You could just use the machines and get them to harvest and plant, and harvest and plant. But I'm lazy. I'm not lazy, I just got the time. Actually, I harvest and they still come up double, so that's... Yeah, it does. Alright, I'm gonna do it this way. I actually got really lazy and I got a lot of mist, so screw it. Oh no. need to grow? 10 minutes, alright, it's not too bad.
God fucking damn it, Dave.
Reason's not being watered, but I guess I could just. Shit, don't think. Yeah, but check the data. There we go. Now we basically just wait. Wait. Wait 10 minutes. Just gonna look at things while that does its thing. I'm tired. I can't sleep though. And this is the bugger about not being able to sleep. Eventually it kicks in. And all you want to do is have a nap. And I don't think I could actually do that today. Here we go. It's time. I sneezed. Oh crap. Wait till that little bit done. Why is that not being... There we go. And now we wait another 10 minutes. Probably should grind up this. Really in can't be bothered stage in my life right now. Oh, how did I miss that? Hey, Spy. I'm awake and you're up early. Yeah, I was having trouble sleeping again. Actually, I actually normally start at 6, so typically I'm already going. Alright, let's time bit it.
Have you got something cooking?
A shiny emerald or just a normal emerald?
That's peachy keen.
Just breathing in the kitchen, making noodles for Bricky. Ooh, noodle sounds good. Good. Sorry, can't sleep. I was up at 2:30 a.m. Just finished my star bath, then passed out. Now I'm up again. I woke up about then, and I haven't been able to sleep. Then I started streaming about 4. I just can't sleep. I haven't had a proper night's sleep for like 2.5 years. And now it's reached a point that when I wake up, I just can't sleep again. Body won't let me. And plus, I'm stressed out about other things, so that doesn't help the whole brain. Oh yeah, it sounds like severe insomnia. It's getting pretty bad. It's not insomnia as in I can't get to sleep. Getting to sleep is fine. I can get to sleep fine. It's staying asleep is the hard bit. My girlfriend had severe insomnia to the point that she just didn't sleep for days. So I know what severe insomnia looks like, but I definitely don't have that. I don't know if it's a form of insomnia of like being like only being able to sleep for a little bit and then waking up. But I still sleep every night. Just I don't sleep for long. And like right now I could go to sleep, but I can't. Because I got work soon. My body's just trying to screw me over. But I appreciate your words, though. Longest I've stayed awake is 27 hours, and that was an all-nighter too for exams at uni. Never did that again. I was paranoid I wasn't going to pass. Now I do nighters whenever there's a big surgery coming up for me. I'm always overly anxious about them, so I don't ever sleep. I never get anxious about surgery and stuff. I think I'm anxious about life stuff. Like right now, I'm severely anxious about my living situation and what's going to happen there, especially if I get a call about a heart. You know, realistically, I wouldn't be able to say no to it. But also, I would have to tell them that I won't have a place to stay when I come back to Wellington, which might push them towards like not giving me one, because they're so strict on their damn rules when it comes to the transplant. You need to have a safe environment, you have to have an isolated environment, because your immunity is screwed, and they're not going to give someone a heart who's not going to be able to take care of it. So it makes me a bit paranoid. I'm sure I'll be all fine, and I know, it's only, I've only just found out about it, and there's a long way to go before anything bad will happen. It's hard to put it on the back of your head when it's all you can think about. I really just want to buy a home. I've been saving my KeyWord for so long and watching it and everything, and I just want to get that done. Let me go back to... It's Friday, I can't be bothered doing anything. Oh. Not looking forward to going to Auckland this afternoon. Auckland's smelly. It's not actually smelly. Auckland. Alright, it's all done. Alright, well, it'll be alright as long as we don't harvest them manually. I need more seeds, damn it. Right, yeah. Yeah, I had that told to me too. Whenever I had surgery coming, I had to find transport to take me home because they couldn't put me in a taxi. I always felt fine, but there were moments where I almost cancelled because Dad couldn't take me because he doesn't drive during bad weather. And he panics now. He has panic attacks now. Has to take the motorway, wreck his drivers, to be honest. Yeah, never had any of those problems myself. But I can see why. In one bad experience can just wreck you. My brother or sister-in-law can pick us up because it was late notice. They had their day off work just for my benefit. I've only been sent in a taxi once. I didn't want to wait for surgery either. I was on the waiting list for 3 years. It's frustrating. Yeah, elective surgeries are typically the worst in New Zealand, but they keep telling me that if they get a heart for me, they'll give it to me, but I don't know. I don't know, man. It just feels like at this point, that's a bit of a lie. But I think I'm just cynical about it. Let's see. Is it seeds or vegetable? Plant vegetable. Plant vegetables, alright, so it has to be vegetables that I plant. Pretty much I'm just going to keep planting these until I've completed both of them. Well, hopefully we can get someone in to actually help fix the whole healthcare system. I'm worried about the healthcare system getting worse, to be honest. And my life kind of depends on whether it gets better. Along with many others. But... And this should actually finish. Dreamlight duty I've currently got up. This one. And that's all done. Okay. Alright, so the next one we're working on is going to be that one. Now, there's two ways we could do it. We could keep on planting and just make crops all over the joint. And I'm half tempted to do it just because of how easy it is to get mist nowadays. But I don't know. It's going to be a bitch to clean up. So I could go over here. And just start planting them here. And just keep going until it's all maxed out. It's just getting rid of them would be a nightmare. So there's two ways I can do it. Right, I remember the doctors tried to get Dad into a taxi. He didn't know if they had paid for the ride or if they had to pay the fare. So he said no. Probably should have asked it, but they should have said either way. He told them to send her in a taxi and I'll be fine. When I got home, immediately Dad was outside in the mailbox waiting for me, so technically he wasn't wrong. But then it was the law, because I could have been hurt. Very, very true. I wasn't. It was just anesthesia, yeah, anesthetist, yeah, stuff. And I can't say the word. That made me loopy. It took me 2 hours. Yeah, you could die on that. People have died by just being on those drugs and having a bad reaction to them. They have to do that for me as well. And to be honest, you rather have them check, like, be safe than the opposite. Alright, we're just gonna be doing this. Fix the... They did the right thing, though. From what you've just described there, they did the right thing by just making sure that you're okay. Because the consequences of them being wrong, the consequences of not doing it outweigh the consequences of actually just doing it. Because if they don't do it and you die, the consequence is quite severe. But if they do it and you don't die, not really a deal. I'm going like keep sleeping. I'm gonna get rid of. So I'm planting what? 30 something seeds every time. I'm planting 35 seeds every time. So. Considering I need to plant 1,800 seeds. Luckily, harvesting is no big deal. Why is that only 34? Seriously, that's bugged. Come on. Where's the choo-choo train? Go buy a bunch of these. Let's go dump these. Oh, exactly with that stuff. I've had a bad reaction that put me under, and I wake up still out of it. It was an hour later before I realized, oh, I did. My surgeon tried to see me about my results, but the nurse said she checked on me and I was asleep again. I guess the nurse told her I was awake, and she showed up. I fell asleep, so technically I couldn't go home. Yeah, they did exactly the right thing. I mean, to be honest, if they were wrong, let's say they got the call wrong, right? And they sent you home when they probably should have kept you there and you died. They would have get so much shit from the public for it. And that happens. I mean, you imagine having a bad day at work. No one cares. Doctor has a bad day at work. People die, and people will know about it. And because it's a public health system, the public outcry is a lot larger. I can't imagine that pressure that if you screw up, everybody will be on your shit about it. So I do not envy them at all. They're in so much pressure, and then on top of that, because of all the social media stuff, they constantly get told they're wrong all the time, or that they're trying to poison people, or they're trying to harm people, or conspiracy. When all they are, they're just doctors that wanted to be doctors, and yeah, it's just sad. Just some of the shit I've seen in a hospital, the way people have treated doctors. And the way people said, I've seen this thing on the internet, and therefore it's true, and you're wrong, is fucked up. And I can't stand those people anymore. I don't have the patience for it. Like, if you're going to disrespect them so much, then shut the fuck up and don't take the free healthcare. Right, I'm rather bitter about it. It's what happens when I'm tired. Happened the second time with the surgery on the same day. Same surgery that day. My brother and sister-in-law were downstairs at the cafe. I told the nurse to call my brother. Before I knew it, they were in the recovery room. As I woke up to them still half asleep. I was so embarrassed, but yeah, that anesthesiast and gave me some strong stuff. Yeah, it's sometimes a bit of hit and miss too. Some people have good reactions on it, some people don't. It's a lottery, and that's the problem with that. That's why you have a specialist doing that particular job. You don't have just a regular doctor coming in and gassing you. An anesthesiast is a specialized position, and there's a reason for that. Just be glad we have them. You don't want a non-specialist doing it. Eventually, in the end, the next anaesthetist had to give me a lower dosage because of how long it takes me to wake up from it all. Yeah, apparently it took 3 days for me to wake up after my surgery. What the LVAD. And what happened is, during my surgery I had a collapsed lung. And so they had to do a few extra stuff to keep me alive, basically. And so it just took me a while to wake up, and on the second day, they started to get really concerned that I wasn't waking up. And then they told my partner, Ailish, that it might be a long time before I wake up. And to prepare for the worst scenario. Because if I don't wake up, obviously I die. But I ended up waking up the next day, and she was really pissed off. Because she went through this a very emotional conversation with the doctors about it, only for me to just wake up the next day. Obviously she was happy, it was funny. And I think that's another worry that we have, you know. It's still heart transplant's a heart transplant. It's not exactly going to be smooth sailing. Dill there. What am I gonna do? Alright, plant more. We'll just double check. Alright. I'm still on the waiting list for your hearing surgery. I have to speak with my surgeon first to see if you've given the green light after I said I wanted it. After I said I wanted it. Yeah, because it's elective, there's a reason you have to wait. Alright, it has been on and off with audio century. With audio century issues, whenever I'm sick, when my right side is blocked, it's literally like I'm partially deaf in both ears, and it scares the crap out of me. Just keep in mind that ear surgery it's not always a fix. It's normally a temporary solution, or it doesn't work at all. And you go through a fuckload of pain for nothing. Just for people that I know that have gone through the similar surgery. That's why it's elective. It's because it can actually make it worse. So that's why they have to be very careful with it. And remember, again, it goes to that consequence thing. The consequences of this call being wrong is that you go deaf. So that's probably why the doctor's a little bit cautious about it. Because all it comes down is quality of life. That's how they ultimately make the call. Is your quality of life going to be better or worse with the surgery? And is the risk worth doing? Because if they're wrong, you're going to blame the doctor. You'll blame the surgeon if they do your ear and it gets worse. No doubt. You're not going to go, oh, they tried. Oh well. Most patients blame the doctor. So they have a choice of, taking that risk or not taking the risk. So it's a hard one. Because if you have the surgery and it turns out it gets worse, you'll probably blame them or them. So it could be one. Alright, awesome. Yeah. Oh, I'm deaf in your left ear. So it'll be the first surgery. Are you actually officially deaf in that ear, medically? Because they should do it if you are. It shouldn't be elective at that point. I had a similar thing done already when I was 13. I already experienced ringing in your left ear. It's hard for me. It would be my fourth surgery since my teens. I don't know. It's a birth defect, given I was born half deaf-blind on my left side. Yes, yes. Well, I mean, it shouldn't be elective at that point if you're actually deaf, and this could restore your hearing. That is a weird one. Don't know why they're dragging their heels on that then. 'Cause it stops being elective at that point. Elective implies you can wait. And if you're actually deaf, you can't wait. And you can restore your hearing with the surgery, you should be able to do it. So I would ask your doctor whether it's defined as elective or not. Because that's probably how it comes out. I mean, there's probably criteria for it and all that fun stuff. But that's my understanding of how that all works. Yay. Well, slowly getting through. I've actually made a good amount of progress here. Alright, find more seeds. I was meant to have it when I was 18, but when I went to uni for 5 years, it was postponed twice. A decade ago, my hearing wasn't a problem. Well, last year, I started having migraines and ringing in the left side. And then the black wax infection happened, and I collapsed at home. Unresponsive and woke up screaming to the EMTs trying to get me up. But yeah, the hospital was scared Dad immensely. Hey, don't take this the wrong way. I think your dad's rather timid, which doesn't really help medical situations. I would not have my sister around to make any medical decisions for me, because she's way too timid and way too swayed. Problem with that is that you need a level head when you're making these calls, and that if you're scared or worried all the time, you typically make a decision out of fear instead of out of logic. Like our surgery. Like when I had my surgery, I could have obviously he seems very timid. I don't understand his decision. It will be based off personal trauma, and it will be based off personal experience. And I mean, he's probably gone through shit in his life you probably don't even know about. Because a lot of the time you would keep that stuff from your kid. But I know when I got told about how I needed a heart transplant and I needed the LVAD, my initial thought was no. Fuck no. You're fucking joking. I'm not going to do that. But then after a while, once... obviously I never said that. But that's how I felt. But then when you take a step back and go, alright, well logically, they've come to this conclusion because of this. This is the data there. This is their call. I mean, the EF, which is the injection fraction, is how your heart goes. It's incredibly low, and if it's ever below 15% by international standards, you should get a transplant. You're technically in critical heart failure, and my EF was at 11%. So then you have to just like take yourself out of the situation and like assess it with the data that you have. And also look at it from their point of view, because at the end of the day, doctors a lot of the time, it's just guesswork. It's using data from other doctors or other medical experience and making the best call that you can make, because there's no doctor that's going to be knowledgeable in every single situation ever to exist. It's just impossible. So it's just making the best call. Hey, Jesse Cat. Good morning to you, or afternoon, or whenever it is. So, I mean, I have a lot of sympathy for doctors, because imagine being in a profession that you are expected to be right 100% of the time and know about every single situation when someone walks through that door. It's impossible. But everyone expects it from a doctor, because you think it's not that easy. You try and find two people with exactly the same condition, like to a T, like same blood type, same everything. It's bloody impossible. So I've got a little bit of sympathy for it. Now there is obviously a limit to that kind of logic, but I think too many people give them. I think you put too much pressure on doctors to get it right 100% of the time. But the best they can do is guess, and as long as they're doing it and have the evidence to back it up, it's hard to argue it. Because if they make a guess and there's no evidence to back it up, that's a little bit different. And that's how you get all the people on Facebook saying, I think it's this, when they've got literally no evidence to back it up. And that's most of the time those kind of doctors get disbarred. And you got that a lot with COVID when COVID came out, is you had a lot of doctors saying bullshit that wasn't actually clinically correct. Like, especially against vaccinations. Even though, like, we've done the reason why polio is basically eliminated is because of vaccinations. All of a sudden, everyone's like, "Oh, vaccinations are bad." It's like, yeah, I don't think they are. And then you had also the arguments like autism rate has gone up ever since we introduced vaccines, and they didn't really add into the fact of maybe our ways of finding people with autism has just improved over the last 20, 30 years, and that's why we're finding more. Everyone still had autism before that. My dad hasn't been diagnosed with autism. He fucking clearly has autism. You should see this train set. It's huge. We should do a video on that. It's bigger than my damn house, of his train layout that he's obsessed with. So it's one of those things. Just because we have better ways of identifying certain conditions doesn't necessarily mean that the condition, people getting those conditions are increasing. It just means we're identifying them better. And autism and ADHD and mental health illness, mental health conditions overall have been severely underfunded and under-identified for decades. And it's only until really the 90s onwards is when we really started to put a lot of money towards that kind of help. And if you want proof, look at all the PTSD that occurred after World War II and how many times that wasn't identified. And that was clearly PTSD. We hear about stuff that happened after World War II with some people coming back from war. And we nowadays can clearly say that's PTSD. But back then, no, it wasn't. Anyway, it's time for coffee time. Coffee time. Coffee and meds time. No, my dad's diagnosed with ADHD and autism like my brother has been. I just think it's a little bit too late. I knew my dad had issues, but now he's no longer... now he no longer wants to be my medical proxy. It's now my brother's responsibility because my dad has this belief he's going to die before he turns 80. He's just scared of dying now, which is fair. I'm scared of dying. To get all serious and stuff. I live with the notion that tomorrow or today could be my last day. Because I could get the phone call in hours. They'll put me on a bed and they'll knock me out. And It is heart surgery. It's a heart replacement. It's a heart transplant. Those surgeries aren't exactly easy. And there's many ways that complications that could happen. The most common one is the heart that you're given doesn't take. And it's not exactly they've got a spare one they can just bring out of the closet and give you. If it doesn't take, let's just say you normally don't wake up. There are ways around it, then a lot of the time they bypass it and then give you another one. They just keep you sedated and just keep it on a machine, but there's only so long you can be put on a machine for before it's too long. And I won't know any of this. I'd be unconscious. I'd be gone. And that's the scary thought. And that's the thought that I a bit cam there. That's the thought I live with every day. And I think what's worse is just knowing all the shit that I'll leave behind. Like, now that I have been told I need to move out, right? Because the landlord's selling the place. I'm going to be leaving all this mess to my girlfriend or everyone left behind. And I feel horrible for that. And so that will be going through my mind if it happened right now. And I also know that even if the transplant occurs, right? Well, when. I should say when. When it occurs, and they get me the new one, the average heart lasts for about 10 years. I know I'll never get to... I'll probably never get to 60 or 65 or 70. There's a good chance I could. If everything goes well, but I also know realistically I might not even get to retire. I'll see, like, I'll have kids or anything like that. And I'm not always okay with that. But I also know that a lot of other people don't get to get that far. And my brother-in-law, he died 2 months before I got sick. And he'll never see his kids grow up. I could. I've seen them all grow up than he would ever. He ever will. Through no fault of his own, he just got cancer. And it's moments like that, you just have to realize that sometimes you are lucky and sometimes you're not. At the end of the day, it's just life. It sucks, glorious, and it's long. And it's also insignificant. It's just life. Say this 3 months ago, my dad had a fall in the bathroom. It took him an amount of time to see his GP. Instead of going straight away, he waited 3 months to see someone. Now to physiotherapy and thinks all the pain is worse. He's going back Monday, but he forgets he has an X-ray or MRI. I can't have MRIs anymore. This machine will rip out of my chest. He could pay 4K in surcharge. 4K? What? In New Zealand? Really? Sorry to hear that, Dave. Just like, I know it is. I'm always worried about our blood type because it's so rare. I wish I lived close to help. It's fine. It's one of those things that there's a lot of other people that are in a worse situation. What I've also learned from going through this, you learn that you have it better than a lot of people, and you also got it worse than a lot of people. And the minute you judge each other for it, you lose. You just have to realize everyone's got their own shit they're dealing with, and the best you can do is just be sympathetic towards that. You paid $100 for a chest ray, then I'm like, hey, if I didn't pay for my chest X-ray, they would have never found the blood clot. That's what I had to pay in this whole process. When I got the flu, the doctor said, hey, you can go for an X-ray if you want, but you don't have to. I was just going to go home. Instead, I went to get the X-ray, and that X-ray found the blood clot, and everything happened from there. But New Zealand had free healthcare. That's where people get it wrong. We have subsidized healthcare. So all the critical stuff, like life-threatening, you're going to die stuff, that's all covered. But it's all the elective stuff, the stuff that's non-urgent most of the time, that's not paid. Sometimes, like if you break your leg, that's paid. So it's the category that it falls into. They've tried to change it. They were trying to move to a more DHB kind of model. not DAB, sorry, NHS model. But there's so many resistance on the conservatives, the political conservative side. There's a lot more pushback because they want to privatize stuff. But a lot of the conservatives of the progressive side want to socialize it and make it all paid for. So yeah, I do give them shit, but it's still a lot better. I mean, all my stuff is covered. Anyway, I'm gonna go get a coffee. Be back in a sec. Alright, back. Can't believe Dave's been talking smack about Americans having to pay healthcare when you guys have to pay. Yeah, it's a little bit different. Like, paying $80 for a GP is a lot different than paying thousands of dollars for shit. I'm giving Americans slack because it's not subsidized. The fact that it makes people bankrupt. No one gets come. I haven't heard of one situation in New Zealand that healthcare has made them bankrupt unless they are paying for like a drug that's not available in New Zealand. But as I said, Yasmin, like you don't pay for everything. Like as I said, all my shit is covered. Like any emergency stuff, you break your leg, that's covered. Like as long as you're a New Zealand citizen, any emergency care, anything like that is covered, and medication is subsidized as well. So you only pay $5 per prescription. It used to be free until earlier this year when they changed the law, because previous government made it free, and then the current government changed it back, making some kind of bullshit excuse. Yeah, but they pay $1,000 if they break their leg, or $1,000 for childbirth, like giving birth and all that. That's free. Like all the neonatal stuff is free. Like cancer treatment's free. Like all that stuff was free for my brother-in-law. All his cancer treatment and checks and everything like that. So yeah, that's why we said we never said it was free. I said it was subsidized healthcare, but it still means that if I'm ever in like an emergency situation, I know it will be fine. So I can still give it shit because I'm not paying thousands of dollars. I've never paid $1,000 for anything health related. And technically, but I could give you shit that since yeah, I never said you couldn't. And everyone knows the NHS. I mean, and also Canada. I don't know what Canada's one is called. Maybe it's CHS. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, in New Zealand, we have something called ACC. And so that's like, it's a social welfare subsidy that's added on, which helps pay for all this kind of stuff. And so it's not actually included in your normal tax. It's actually an add-on that they change the percentage based off the demand for it. So if more New Zealanders got injured, they'll increase the ACC levy and they'll change that percentage. I think it's like 1.5 or something percent at the moment on your bill, on your wages. And that was the best. That's basically insurance. You can't opt out of it. Everyone gets it. Not to get into politics, do you hear how months back Luxon was having those on disability insurance forced labour? Winds don't talk to me as much as they used to, but I still had to renew my accommodation job because every 6 months, not every year, government changed that. Yeah, there's a little. I can't say much because I work for the government, so I have to be very careful what I say, because they do a whole lecture on it. But let's just say there's a lot of things that I don't agree with, but that's just the way things are. If I didn't work for it, I'd be raging about it. I think one of the interesting and more frustrating things is that because they're trying to get more people off the job benefit, or they've increased the demand, the requirements for the job benefit, a lot of people are falling off the job benefit, and that's how they can't count unemployment. So they don't count unemployment correctly if people aren't on the unemployment benefit. So if you fall off it, you're not included in that stat, which I think is bullshit. Because then they can just make the stat look good by just getting everyone off the benefit. And that's why, and this is gonna, I have to be careful here. That's why I don't really understand people that are against the opposition party, which is a small party that's on the growth. Everyone's like, oh, I don't like UBI, which is Universal Basic Income. I don't think people should get UBI. People on the benefit will get that on top of it, and then I have to go. You do get, if everyone got the universal benefit, universal income. If everyone got universal income, you don't put anyone on the benefit. Everyone on a benefit is eliminated, because you don't need people on the benefit if everyone's getting basic universal income. So what they're suggesting is not adding, is not saying people on the benefit are getting that the benefit plus the universal basic income. They're just saying everyone just gets the universal basic income. No one will be on the benefit because there won't need to be any need for it. It's so stupid. Just some people just not really understanding what universal basic income actually means. And I think that'll be good if everyone's can be on it. Everyone's got a baseline, and everyone can just not stress so much. For a country that always prides itself on not stressing about stuff, we do stress about stuff. I don't really want to redesign any area today. I know what I'll do. This one. Alright, so this is the elemental side of it, and this week in the shop they actually introduced a new elemental thing. Is this, the elemental bundle, which I'm tempted to get because I don't have anything for elemental, and I think this will be really good for elemental. I think it's definitely elemental, right? Yeah, it is. But is elemental the movie or elemental just the theme? Alright, I'm gonna get it anyway. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Unfortunately for me, I still need a chaperone if I get a paid job. I did that 8-week trial at City District, couldn't do it full time. I love a paying job, but sadly my health won't let me. First, I need transport. I can't drive, but I still got a work advocate telling me I need a driver's license when I'm medically legally blind. I don't get why I would get a paying job if I had one when I'll be wasting money on that. Could consider doing something from home, like working from home, like becoming like a video editor or something like that. It would definitely help your situation to be able to do all that from home, or a particular job you can do from home. I know a lot of our work that I do is, I don't personally do it, but I know people that do it. Just like phone work, like working from home stuff. I have to be vague because I don't really want to go on what I do. This is elemental. Let's just make sure it comes on. Yeah, it does. Cool. Alright. Oh, this goes in the river. That doesn't work if I don't have a river. Oh no. I didn't want to need a river. That classifies as a river. Well, rats. Can't have it in this section anymore. I don't have a river. Where can I... Where has a river? Guess I could do it here, but it's small. I could do it here as small. Wow. But if they've been asking about working from home, it would do me wonders. Unfortunately, I don't have a computer anymore. Always on my phone. What can you do with that? I mean, you could get a cheap laptop off me, right? It'll give me practice for talking to people on phones. It would. But when you're in a customer service thing, it makes you hate being on the phone even more. So it's not going to really help. It'll make you hate it even more. And I could have it. I will have to move these two sections, cars and... I could put elemental here. But, tough. Could put elemental here, but it just doesn't really fit with the other aesthetic like that. It does make it pop a bit better. Elemental green. Oh, this in up here. Ooh, I didn't consider up here. That there. And I could move this down here. Move this over here. This project ended. Alright, let's get rid of it. Have I not done this thing right section? Let me check my handy dandy list. Yeah, I haven't actually done seeing red yet, so I could actually just get rid of everything. Wait until the dice roll kind of lands on it. And I'll just leave it. I'll remodel that later. Oh, what's it? This is what happens when they introduce a new item to a section that doesn't actually have a lot. It really makes you think of how to make it work. I do it this way. As I mentioned, I get my to get my driver license, I have to eye test and fail that. Not to mention, I'll fail a written code exam. I had a workbook 20 years ago and thought I'll get your license. I found out I was legally blind and it's walked down. Yeah, I reckon you should look into what do you want to do that you can work from home with, and try and start to explore those options. I think that's going to be your only way out of this particular scenario. Figure out what you want to do that you can work from home with. A lot of the time it's like video editing or something like that. Hypothetically, like, you can get a lot of work doing video editing for random YouTubers like myself. Like, I'll pay you X amount of money, you make a whole bunch of shorts that I can just put it up. That happens quite a lot. Why is that there? I thought I saved it. Oh, hi, Scrappy Dappy Doo. I didn't save. Of course. Thanks, Dreamlight Valley. You can put the boat on the river kit. Yes, you can, can't you? I think I've already committed to this idea, but you make a very good point, Scrappy. And hi. G'day. I'll stick with the idea I've got at the moment, and if I don't like it, I'll switch over to doing it that way. I think I needed more room anyway for the elemental side of it. I think that should be enough for Seeing Red, is just that little thing, because Seeing Red doesn't have anything else other than just the house and a couple of things. And I can shove it there, and then I can move it to a different area if it gets more stuff. But yeah, you make a very good point. I didn't think of that. So thank you. And you can stand on it. Can you stand on the river kit? Can you stand on the river kit? On the river. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. River. See if I can. Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, you can't stand on that. What do you mean the boat? On the boat. Oh, you can stand on the boat. How do you stand on the boat? Correct. What's it doing? Oh. How do you stand on it? You have to tell me how to stand on the boat. But that'd be cool if they do that, because I really want them to start doing more stuff like, so, you know, you can ride on the rides and stuff, which I still think they should program the characters riding on the rides, because I think that's cool. But I get it, video game programming is hard. Get your camera. Oh, okay. Oh, so it's the same way they do with the rides. Ah, that's cool. Well, different. I should say it's different. I mean, it looks a little bit awkward, but I like how they're trying. They're trying. I see it. All right. Thanks for that, Scruffy. That's a cool little thing. I like that. Alright, we'll go elemental. So, as per the rule, we only can use elemental stuff, or things that show up in the elemental category. And we might have to buy more. That will go around a little bit. It's that I hate things not fitting flushly, and unfortunately, Tuning Isles is really bad with things not sitting flushly. It's got weird corner stuff that you just can't put it there. Anyway, sorry about my drama. Sorry, no, it's fine. It's fine. I talk about my drama all the time. I'm gonna have to buy more. Hey, if you don't have a place to vent, you bowl it up and you eventually explode. So, feel free. If I can complain about how long it's taking me for my heart transplant, you can complain about that stuff. Because basically, I'm complaining that someone with the right blood type hasn't become brain dead so I can take their heart. It's not exactly the most delightful thing in the world to complain about. You're just complaining about normal things that drama that you're being through. It does take me a little while to read your stuff. I will say that. You do put quite a lot there. But feel free to put it in the Discord too, if you're outside of chat, if you'd rather. Just because there's a lot there, and I know there's only so much you can type in the windows. What I was doing. Alright, Scrooge, yeah. Need actually in a nutshell on that. Completely forgot what I was doing. Alright, let's go buy some more stuff. I always find it funny that they charge so much for freaking premium items to buy. You think they have enough with all the moonstones you chuck their way? Nah. Nah, they want more. More. Alright, these are all the elemental things we've got to work with. Not a lot, but a lot more than we did yesterday. We essentially doubled it with that item that we got from the store. Yeah, see, this is... I'm surprised they added elemental stuff. Because elemental didn't really hit. However, I have seen a little bit of love going around for elemental recently. So, it makes me think that maybe we could get the elemental characters in the game. I don't know what characters they're planning on introducing though. I think we're going to get something at D20 to tell us. My biggest guess is that we're going to get an underwater DLC, and part of it is that because it's underwater, the Finding Nemo characters are going to be there, just swimming around. They won't need to make it like an oxygen bubble. They won't need to do anything like that. They'll use magic, and because it's underwater, that they can get around the whole walking thing. They just have it swimming. Only problem with that is that they will have to make a rule that you can't put them anywhere else but that water. They would have to work out, if you were to reassign them, how would that work? It'd probably work the same way Ursula works. When she doesn't have her human skin on, when she's just swimming, and same with Ariel, that she just appears in the different ponds and stuff. I think that's probably how they're going to get around it, of when you assign them to other, like the main Dreamlight Valley or anything like that. But so I'm pretty certain they're going to introduce Finding Nemo in the new DLC, which is going to be underwater. Just a question of what they do additional to that, because with DLC they typically don't just do one character; they do several different characters. So it's going to be interesting to see which ones they do. And they normally do a big like melting pot of different characters. I'm excited because it's hit that point with Dreamlight Valley that we're going to be getting characters that aren't as what am I trying to say? We're going to get characters that don't have a huge fan base. We're going to get a little bit niche characters. And that's what I'm excited for. What kind of niche characters are they going to go for? Like, I mean, you could play it safe. You could do the Seven Dwarfs, but even that, I feel, is a little bit niche at this point. I feel like they probably won't introduce any more Toy Story characters. They'll probably save that for an adventure pack. That would make sense there. We go through this conversation every once in a while, like what they can actually introduce, and they really haven't got too many left to do. Any big ones, I should say. Finding Nemo is a big one for me, I would say. Ours would be another one, but you could put an asterisk on that. Like, how would that work? That would be a bit of a... Because they try and keep scale where they can, except for probably the only time they have a really broken scale is with the Inside Out characters. Because even with the Toy Story characters, they get them exactly the same. So it'd be interesting to see what they do. I'm excited. What I worry about though is that them... Yeah, I don't know what they're planning on doing for next year. I think like before, in the first year or two of Dreamlight Valley, we all had a good idea of what we were going to expect. They had they were releasing their roadmaps early on. They kind of were hinting at what direction they were going to go. There was huge like feature drops like multiplayer and so forth. But now it's kind of like we get little small quality of life improvements, and to be fair, most of the quality of life improvements that we get, things that probably should have been there from the beginning. I mean, the search function, that was a big one. Being able to search for items in a build game like this. I want to make sure I don't cover up the others in the two spots so I can still reach them. Yeah, I can spot for it, is it? But yeah, I'll be interested to know what the next jump is. I'm surprised they didn't really make a big deal about the Dream Teams. Dream Teams was a pretty good addition. And it really kind of helps that community building aspect of it. And they have hinted that they were doing something more with multiplayer, but I can't work out where the Dream Teams was all they were really kind of going for. So, yeah, I don't know what the next year of Dreamlight Valley is going to look like. I think it still has legs, and based off the playing numbers, Steam, it's still pretty healthy. So you can expect the game to be around for a while. It's just a question of, are they just going to be going, alright, we're just going to release the character once in a while and do a star path and phone it in a little bit? Or will we continue to see really big quality of life improvements? Like the museum. The museum was a good quality of life improvements. It added some to the game. It was outside the DLCs. It was a little extra content that takes you a little bit longer, and it gave you a better sense of progression as well. I think that's something the game struggles with, especially how people always feel overwhelmed with this game. Which I personally don't, but I get how some people do. These windmills don't really suit. And a little hangout spot here. Ooh. A little hangout spot here, and hopefully drag the NPCs in. I'll use the seating, because I like the seating I used to. It felt elemental-esque. I'd love for them to do an improvement with their AI behavior, though. Like, just, like, being able to, like... I would love to, like... Because I build theme parks and that I've been, you know, attuned to, like, all this is Pixar kind of stuff. I would love to, like, just walk down it and just see characters riding the rides and stuff. That would be cool. Like, just sitting in it. Even if they're sitting in it looking lifeless, it still brings more life to the game. Which, as everyone that's followed my stream knows, it's a bit of a sticking point for me, is that the game feels a little bit lifeless sometimes. Just with the AI behavior and the fact you build this amazing village, but they all just look a bit lost. Not much elemental stuff, but I think it does definitely has got a lot more meat to it than it did before. I didn't expect it to be changing this one so soon. Yeah, the windmill doesn't really suit it, but I kind of try and make sure I have one item of everything that is available to them there. That's what we're gonna do now. There's a massive tree in the way. I don't know if that tree's too. That's gonna be good enough. It looks a lot different than I initially did it. If we can reach it. Can't. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna actually move the boat closer. In case I ever need it. There you go. So now I can sit on the, or stand on the boat. There you go. Well, I didn't think I was going to remodel anything, but I ended up remodeling something. There you go. Alright, we've got 15 minutes. Does anyone anything that they want to talk about, or anything in particular you want me to check out? Now's a good time. Oh, I had all these down here. I should put it up. Well, if no one's got anything to talk about, I'm going to work on my dream. I think next week is D20 as well. So we should have some Dreamlight Valley news to talk about next week. I wonder what it's going to be. I've got a feeling it's going to be DLC. They'll definitely announce what DLC is, because it's normally around this time they do that. Normally they wait until the showcase, but normally around about now it's people discover what the DLC is called, and I think if they get ahead of it and announce it there, and then the next update they can include stuff in the data, it won't be a big scandal. Because that's what happened last time with Wish Blossom, is that it was revealed early. I think it was one. I think Steam accidentally released the title early, and two, someone data mined stuff. So I think that they probably want to get ahead of that this time, but yeah, I'm curious of what they're going to do, because the horses really were a bit of a dud. The horse mechanic, and it feels like they did the horse mechanic because they wanted to get away from just introducing a new royal tool or a new currency. So it'd be interesting to see which direction they go with it this time, because I don't know if they'd another royal tool. I mean, yeah, it'll be interesting the mechanic they introduce. I don't know what mechanic they would. What mechanic we're missing. Okay, finish your breakfast, wash dishes, now back in the warm room. Nice. Yeah, I don't know what mechanic is really missing from the game. I think that's another question you have to ask. Is like, horse riding makes, I don't know, makes sense, but you could definitely make the argument that was missing in the game. But now that I've got that, what mechanic would you say is missing in the game? It's hard to put my finger on what that would be. What would be the hook? The hook for Wish Blossom was horse riding. The hook for Eternia Isle was the staff. The hook for Storybook Vale was the snippets. And the snippet catching. What would be the hook for the next one? Is a question. I don't know the answer to it, because I don't actually know what would be missing. Stamp collecting? I don't know. I have a question. Do you think the hearts are a good distraction? Do you think the good hearts are a distraction? I love to fast travel villages, though. It's much easier to find them. I don't think it's a distraction. No, I think it's actually, you know, if you do it right, you can really make a benefit. So if you get a villager, if you want to do a time with the gold hearts, yeah, I figured that's what I mean. If you want to do a time-bending grind, right? You find a time mender, give them their 3 gifts of the day. That will max out their best friend meter. And then you can smash it out and get thousands of mist. And so you're not wasting time grinding that heart to maximum. And then getting so like you're grinding it to maximum and then using it at that point, and then you've kind of already done it for ages, so you're kind of over it. And it's definitely a lot. You save a lot of time, and plus it pays off all your grinding previously, because you know you can give them their items of the day really quickly and really efficiently. Well, for me anyway. So I don't know. I personally don't think it's a distraction. I think I'm learning to use it to my advantage a lot more. Yeah, I was with Donald and Goofy and my fishing buddies. I got a ton of fishing with them. Yeah, I think the bonuses are definitely paying off. I mean, I get a lot of mist. I get a lot of additional items as well, especially with foraging, and I've been able to speed up, and that's definitely going to help my grind. I think it won't help you once you're kind of if you're not much of a grinder. I would say if you're kind of happy with like just finding stuff as you need it, not really going to help you too much. But if you're like me and kind of like a healthy supply of a particular item, it's definitely useful, and it's definitely kind of makes you use your strategy a little bit more. Millions one time benders, a lot of mist indeed. Yeah, I get a lot of mist, which is very helpful, especially how there's so many areas and you want to like set up a vacuum in every single area and all that kind of stuff. So there's definitely pros and cons with it. I don't actually, from a con point of view, I think the problem is with it's not clear when the bonus is active and when it stops. So like right now, her heart is very, very low. Now she's my time bender, so I know that the bonus is still active with her because she gave me all of those just there, because if she's my time bender one, she wouldn't give me foraging stuff. So I know that it is still currently active, but it's not really clear just looking at it if it's active, other than the bar, but I can barely see the bar now. From the only other way of doing it is if you push B and it comes up there, or it's gold on the right hand side. But I don't see that a lot. I kind of miss that. So I know the bonus is still active here. And as you go, I didn't realize it actually gives you 25 out of 50. Alright. Yeah, it's still definitely there. I think that's one of the downsides, but that's cosmetic. That's a quality of life thing that can easily be switched. So I think the best friend bonus also encourages people to hang out with buddies after they've leveled them up, especially ones that you don't normally would level up, and stops so much kind of switching to different characters all the time and back and forth. So there is definitely a lot of pros here. Trying to work all this out. It's too early for me to my brain. So I was definitely someone that was against it initially, but I've warmed up to it, and I think it will encourage people to use their but keep companions around them a lot more. The only problem with me is I kind of like the characters interacting with the environment and stuff. So I kind of don't like them following me all the time. That's just me. I'm a weirdo. Modelo, Meridi? Never can say her name right. Definitely one of my snip, but I try and make them even. And now that's actually not as big of a problem with the new buddy system. Don't have them follow me either. Yeah, I like them interacting. I think the problem, and that's why I get hung up on how they interact, is that sometimes they're kind of lame and boring, and clearly it's just they're following a list of things. And I think the problem that they're having with the villagers now is that because there's so many of them, it's harder for them to kind of, act. Because there's so much the computer has to like program to make the AI kind of do what they need. I don't even want to call it AI, because it's not really AI. It's just character has to do X, so character does X. It doesn't really think more outside of that. And that's why you always see them randomly running sometimes, because it's basically they select a random location on the map saying go to this location, and depending on how far away it is, that's how they do it. I don't know. I think I just want more from that. That's just me being greedy. Same with companions. Once they reach level 5, switch out old new, and do a lot of fishing because I have 14 fishing critters to level 5. Like, how? Yeah, that one's a little bit different, the critters. But I'm glad I have my presets that I can just like switch over, and I think that's really helped me utilize the critters a lot more. Oh, that's where... Oh no, did I... No, I didn't put it there. God, I'm an idiot. Trying to find that before. I think the game... It's definitely heading to a situation where the game's going to kind of have to figure out what to be in the future. I honestly think they should stop development and come up with Dreamlight Valley 2 and then go from there. Because what they've learned will probably make the game amazing. From what they originally conceptualized this as. Because they never intended to have... I don't think they ever intended for multiplayer to be a huge demand or expectation. I think it is now. I was annoyed. Pluto is fishing and not wood. He's a dog. He should pick up sticks, not fish. There's some dogs that do. I think the husky does. The husky is a wood one. Well, I think Pluto is more canonically fish dog. But don't quote me on that. Zoom no picks up that. Like I think I've got. Yeah, we'll switch over to my wood preset. Yeah, it's yeah, the husky and the broom. Husky and the broom. Better switch, otherwise they're going to keep on picking out wood while I'm trying to put everything away. Going cold turkey on Moonstones now. Only time I'll use my real life money is for Starpath Moonies. I do agree with that. I think it's reached a point where they've limited your options so much with store that I would honestly, unless there's an item you really, really want, don't waste your money on it. I think they need to move to the catalog system. Give everyone the ability to buy whatever the hell they want, when they want. And stop making people feel FOMO all the time, because the minute people break the FOMO and they just give up on the game, then they hardly ever come back, because the reason why they broke it was because of something that's financial driven. And you don't want that. You don't want people not playing a game just because it costs too much. Bad feeling. Which one was my... I want the parks thing. I want the gardening, fencing, and the shop. I don't want that. See, that's the difference. And see, that's what sucks for you, is that you either have to buy it this week, or you have to play the lottery and hope it pops up again. And that's unfair, because you clearly love the game, but you just don't have the funds right now to buy that kind of stuff. And that leaves a sour taste in your mouth. Alright, well, let's go finish the day. And in the Wreck-It Ralph section, because it is the Wreck-It Ralph update currently. If I get any more critters, I'm going to run out of space leveling them up. Yeah, I think that's also a problem that they're having at the moment, is they've introduced so much stuff now that the base game just can't handle it. It's kind of forces you to buy the DLC, which again leaves a sour taste in your mouth if you're forced to play a game, forced to pay money to continue playing a game. They need to expand on the base game, in my opinion. Anyway. Right. Alright, well, we'll say goodbye to Tiana. Give you Plaza Island. And yeah, I get they could use the excuse of saying, hey, you got all the islands though, that should be enough. And it's not really when you want everything kind of like some characters. I don't know. I have a lot of favorites. Anyway, we'll leave it there. So thanks for everyone for popping on for this extra long one. Thanks, Spy. Thanks, Yasmin. Thanks, Jessica Cat. Thanks, Elizabeth, for popping around as well. And thank you. Who was that new one that we saw? Scrappy Doo. Thank you, Scrappy Doo. I'm assuming in my mind, you're the real one. I really do appreciate everything. I'm off next Monday because I am going up to Auckland to do some heart tests. But I should be back on Tuesday, and we can all stay in touch on the Discord. But as always, I will be doing this again all next week, and the week after, and the week after, and the week after. But after that, maybe not, because I might not be able to stream anymore after that, and with my living situation changing. So this could be only the last few months for me streaming, which will be sad, but I can't really stream if my girlfriend is like in the room asleep. So it just doesn't really work that way. It's a pity, but some things are the way they are for a reason. Anyway,